Welcome to this episode of Your Business Won't Scale Self with Terry Foster. This episode is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board along with Terry Foster Consulting. Terry Foster Consulting is a digital marketing agency that helps business owners like you scale to seven figures and beyond with effective digital marketing. In today's episode, what I want to talk about is the mindset that it takes for scaling, because over the years, I have seen countless times people stand in their own way of scaling their business, and it's all due to mindset. It's not thinking about things properly, not thinking about things in the right way. And I don't want that to be you. So at the end of the day, taking emotions out of decisions in business is necessary. You have to be in tune with the data, but even the way that you look at the data sometimes requires a mindset shift. And I want to kind of dive in with actually taking a look at what that means from a numbers perspective, because here's what I mean when people get handcuffed. That's what I call when people kind of get stuck at the same level because they're afraid to take that leap forward. Because here's an instance with paid traffic. They may be used to getting 300% return on ad spend. So they want $3 for every dollar that they spend on ads because that's what they use. That's what they're used to. That's what they're used to getting at a small scale. So they may be spending a couple $1,000s a month, getting a 300% return on ad spend. They try to spend more than that, and that 300% goes down, and then they pull back, and then they drop their spend down. And what they don't know is if they really understood the numbers, they're making the wrong decision. They're letting their mindset of seeing that 200% come across the screen as opposed to 300% influence them to make a bad decision. So let's take a look. This is an exercise that I walk through with a lot of our clients. It kind of really illustrates this visually. So what we have here are just different scenarios. Up here on the top is return on ad spend. This column is the ad spend level. And this takes into account, like what you see in these cells right here is what's left, the net profit after the ad spend, after the cost of goods sold for the required units to fulfill the expected amount based upon AOV. So these numbers in here are what you actually care about. So let's take a situation of a client or a business owner thinks they're killing it. They're spending a small amount of money. Let's say they're spending $1,000 and they're getting $5 back for every one. So that's amazing results. 5 to 1 is really good, but when you take a look at it based upon these numbers, and let's see my pictures in a way, I want to see if I can just quickly show you guys. So on here, this is just a situation, like the average order value $60, expected gross profit $48 because the cost of fulfillment. So all that stuff is going in to this math. But basically, like in this scenario, this business, they would be making a profit of $516.67. But, on the surface, it looks good. But this business would be much better off scaling their budget to $5,000, even if the return on ad spend drops from 500 to 400%, which on the surface, your brain may think that's not as good, but look what happens to the profit. Now, after it's all said and done, after they pay that ad spend back, after they pay to fulfill those products that sold, they're making $8,566. That's way better than they were doing when they had a much higher return on ad spend that looked better than the surface. Even if they were spending $10,000 and instead of a 400%, now they're getting a 300%. Now you see that profit, that net profit is $11,600. So it's about being focused. It's about paying attention to the metrics that actually matter for your business, which is net profit. A lot of times people get stuck because they're like, I can't scale. I can't spend more money unless my return on ad spend stays steady. I don't want my return on ad spend to drop. But when you scale, chances are your return on ad spend is going to drop. And that's okay as long as your net profit is growing, because that is what puts money in your bank account. That's what allows you to actually hire new people and get help, is the net profit. It's not return on ad spend. So don't allow yourself to be mentally trapped into thinking that you have to continue to get like these great numbers in order for scaling to make sense. No, sit down and figure out what your numbers are. And if you're making more net profit when you're scaling up and spending more, then you want to keep doing that until it doesn't make sense, until the math doesn't make sense. That's when you pull the budget back. So hopefully this has been helpful. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. If you have any questions, drop the link in the comments. Make sure that you make sure that you subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.